we are going to dive into the world of Web3. Web3 represents a new era in the evolution of the internet and has the potential to transform the way we interact with digital technologies. In this video, we will examine the history of Web3 from its early beginnings to its current state right now, and we will discover its evolution. So let's get started with the topic. Before we start and before I give you the main benefits of actually creating a crypto portfolio, we have to quickly introduce crypto. What is it, so that you have a little bit of an understanding of it. And apart from that, I also want to say that all the content we'll talk about and everything I'll tell you in this video, all the links for it will be down in the description. Alright, so briefly, what cryptocurrencies are basically digital or virtual currencies secured by cryptography. That's also where the name comes from. And this makes it, cryptography and this security makes it nearly impossible to counterfeit or double spend. And many cryptocurrencies also are decentralized networks based on blockchain technology. So their cryptocurrencies and blockchains kind of come together. And a blockchain technology or a blockchain is basically a distributed ledger enforced by a network of computers all over the world. Apart from that, a defining feature of cryptocurrencies is that they are generally not issued by a central authority, rendering them theoretically immune to government interference or manipulation. So here you'll see also a quick graph of cryptocurrencies. It's a form of digital assets on the blockchain. Just as a summary, the economy is monitored by a peer-to-peer network, and they are limited entries in a database that can be traded, bought, sold, or stored. This database is the blockchain. Okay, now let's actually get into three of the main benefits, the most important benefits, I think, of holding a crypto portfolio. And the first one is portfolio diversification. So cryptocurrency has become known as a non-correlated asset class. So theoretically, crypto markets function independently of other markets, and their price action tends to be determined by other factors than those that affect stocks, bonds, or commodities. So usually people create portfolios of assets. They have stocks, they have ETFs, maybe they have some bonds if you want some low risk things, and perhaps you have some commodities, perhaps you have some gold. But what you could actually add to that, which is usually not that correlated, is crypto. So for example, if you want a relatively low risk crypto to add to your portfolio to further diversify it, you would buy Bitcoin. And that's one of the greatest benefits of crypto. Now we must note that recently though, if you for example take a look at Bitcoin and stocks, very recently it hasn't been the case, but for the last year they have been pretty correlated due to kind of the same factors influencing both. So you should definitely research the correlation. As of late it hasn't been the case, and there are other factors really driving the price of Bitcoin. But apart from that, it's still a great portfolio diversification overall and historically seen. Apart from that, and this is really a multilateral benefit of crypto, it's a more inclusive financial system. So some of the benefits of cryptocurrencies extend to people who don't have access to or perhaps don't trust the traditional finance system. And due to its decentralized and permissionless nature, one of the benefits of cryptocurrencies is that anyone outside of that system can participate. So in general, people don't need permission from any financial authority or government to use the crypto ecosystem. So as I said, there are really two parts to this benefit. First of all, it means that if you have these problems, if you don't want to invest in traditional finance, if you have problems with the oversight in your country, or you are not interested in that, then you can invest in Bitcoin. And overall, if you take a look at the returns of Bitcoin, you actually get a decent return. Not every year, you should know that, and you should definitely research it, but still. And apart from that, if you also invest in stocks, and if you, for example, like we just talked about, just want to further diversify or further invest in other assets, this also means that more people, there's generally a bigger market to buy this asset. Whereas if you, for example, buy stocks in the US, the chance is very, very low that people in Africa or people in the Middle East want to buy US stocks as well. Apart from that, it really has benefits for both people who are in financial systems where they would want to purchase Bitcoin, but also for people who just want to diversify. Now, lastly, and we already touched upon this just a couple of minutes ago, is that crypto, just let's be honest about it, has the possibility of outsized returns. So Bitcoin has been one of the best performing assets of the last 13 years. When it debuted in 2009, Bitcoin essentially had no value, but in the following years it would rise to a fraction of a penny, then eventually to tens of thousands of dollars, as you all know. And this represents millions of percentage points worth of gains. By comparison, for example, the S&P 500 has averaged 8% per year. And now we must say that obviously this is not the case every year. And in 2009, almost nobody bought Bitcoin. All right, for example, you could better look at 2017, when quite a lot of people already knew about crypto and what it has done up until today. And you can still see, here you can see Bitcoin overall. You can see, for example, in 2013, it was just under $100. At the beginning of 2017, it was over $1,000. And still there are amazing returns to be made. Even if you bought as recently as the middle of 2020, you would still be in the positive right now, even though, as you can see, we have fallen a lot. So even though it's definitely not guaranteed that you'll have higher returns or that you have outsized returns, there are a lot of benefits. Like we talked about, it's a more inclusive financial system, it's a diversification, and apart from that, just that potential, that risk reward there is with Bitcoin is an amazing benefit as well. Alright, so with that, we have reached the end of this video. We talked about 3 of the main benefits of creating a crypto portfolio: the possibility of outsized returns, a more inclusive financial system, and as we talked about, also diversification in general. So if you found this video helpful, please make sure to add a like and add comments with questions you might have missed, and subscribe to our channel.